one last person. So I just met Ron tonight, and I don't even remember your last name, Ron. All right, come on up, Ron. So Ron heard about us in the article that ran this morning in Inside Tucson Business, and called me as I was driving to pick up T-shirts, and we talked for 10 minutes, and somehow I convinced him to come down and hang out with us tonight. So can you quickly introduce, including your last name?
My name is Ron Rezetko. You'll forget that, but I'm Ron.
And can you share with them your background and your story?
I can, but let me tell you what I saw when I came here first. That's most important.
All right.
I saw a lot of wonderful faces saying, God, I'm here because I want an opportunity to do something, and I have an idea. And you know, that happened to me one time. I was 47 years old when I started that. And I had an idea, and it's called Batteries Plus. And it's a company today of about 550 stores. I sold it 10 years ago when it had 350 stores. Wow. But at one time, it was nothing. Okay, it was an idea. And when I find it, when I see ideas, and I hope you think this way, the greatest ideas in the world, most of them are in the grave. People don't do something about it. I can remember after I had 3 or 4 stores up, people come to me and say, this is a good idea, I thought about it. I said to myself, why didn't you do it? I didn't say it to them, you know, because it was an expensive thing to do, and frankly, it took a long time. It took me 7 years to make a profit, folks. It took 7 years to make a profit. And then all of a sudden, things started going pretty well. But that's kind of what it is. You've heard of Batteries Plus, I hope. Appreciate your business. I don't own it anymore, of course. I sold it, like I said, 10 years ago. And so my wife and I are, and our dog and our cat, and my kids and my grandchildren are all here in Tucson. And I moved here from Florida just 2 years ago to be with my family. And it's been an experience. It's been a wonderful experience. But I'll tell you, if I didn't call you today, and I didn't come here and see this, and I see so much hope. You know, I was 47 years old. I had a lot of hope. You know, and a lot of people had a lot of hope. And so, maintain that with yourself. Give yourself a chance. Don't give up, okay? If you got an idea, try to make it work. Because you know what? If you work hard enough at it, you work smart enough at it, you get funded properly, it'll work. So, you have any questions?
So what was the pivotal moment when you realized that it was not going to turn a profit, right? It took 7 years. What was the moment when you went, wow, this is not just my thing at home, it's not a store, it's not a handful of stores, this is going to be huge?
Well, you know what? Actually, that came way before turning a profit, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, it did. I opened my first store in Green Bay, Wisconsin. By the way, I was going to be a football coach, okay? So, I'm an old hurricane, all right? So I knew nothing about business. I was going to be an educator, you know? And but anyhow, things worked out in life, and I did this. But when I opened my first store, it was in Green Bay, right down from Lambeau Field. And people would come into me because we did it right. That's very important to do it right. Because here, unseen and untold is unsold, period. No matter how you look at it. That's how it's going to work. So I think your presentation is critical. Whatever you do, your presentation's got to be there. And so people would come into our store because it was presented real well. And they'd say, is this a franchise? After the first store. I said to myself, you know, it could be a franchise. And I had a partner, because I couldn't, let me tell you this, I couldn't afford it all myself. So I had a financial partner, which is wonderful. Most partnerships don't work out too well. Ours really worked out real well. Real well. We're fortunate. But that's because I built this company, he ran another company. And he pushed the money towards this company, which has made it work that way for us. But after our first store, we opened 5 stores. And then I had a major battery manufacturer approach me and want to buy us. So I had 5 stores up, and we decided to, my partner and I, we decided maybe we should franchise it. People have been talking about it. So we went to Kansas City, and we talked to a fellow named Don Culp, who was a good attorney. He did ERA real estate. And Don gave us all the proof what we had to do to make this thing franchising. So we got back in the car at the airport, and Arthur says to me, he says, what should we do? I I said, I don't know, Arthur, what do you think we should do? He said, I don't know, what do you think we should do? So we made a decision. It was very difficult. We flipped a coin. That's a true story. We flipped the coin and we said, if it's heads, we're going to franchise, if it's tails, we're not. And it came out heads. So there's a little bit of luck involved in business. I'll tell you that. So we continue to grow, and we grew to, well, we owned 20 corporate stores at the time when I sold it, and we had 330 franchise stores. And the reason we franchise because it's less capital intensive. And also this, when you have an entrepreneur that wants to, my philosophy was you can be in business for yourself but not by yourself where you want to be. And that's pretty important because certain people want to live in certain places. And we have the 3 stores in Tucson, and the 4th one's going up now. And there's 10 stores in the Phoenix area. But that's kind of, I found out then what we're going to do. So then we have to build a training center. Oh my God. And we have to move from Green Bay because you can't get to Green Bay. Nobody can get to Green Bay. So we have to move down to the Milwaukee area where there's an airport. And we have to put up a training center. And I can remember sitting in a Denny's one day, putting up this training center, and it's about 10,000 square feet. And we're sitting in this Denny's, my wife and I, and the guy next to me says, look at that guy, he must be some kind of a nut putting up that battery store, 10,000 square feet. That's a true story. And so that's how we did it. And then we had our first franchise meeting after about 5 years. And the reason it took us 7 years to make it profitable, to be honest with you, is that we had so many expenses in franchising and developing the process and systems. That's what it was all about.
But getting the culture right.
Well, the culture, here's what we did. We had training programs, and our franchisees and their associates would come in. It was 6 weeks. They had to come in for 6 weeks total. And I did the culture part. I was always there for the culture part. I did the first 2 hours of the program. And that was very critical, because I remember the CEO of the company, when I used to call the stores, I'd call about 10 stores a day. And I'd listen to how they answer the phone. And the way you answer the phone is, thank you for calling Batteries Plus. How may we help you? If they didn't answer it that way, I got in there playing with the business. Wow. Bottom line. Why? Because there was a certain culture, and people want to be thanked for their business. They deserve to be thanked for their business. And how can we help you? Not what can I do for you. I can tell you what you can do for me, but you want to help me. There's a big difference, right? So the culture is the most important part of that. It's thank you. Taking too much time.
No, you're great. Thank you so much.